The expression 1/3 x squared minus 2 can be rewritten as 1/3 x minus k times x plus k, parentheses, parentheses, parentheses. K is a positive constant. What is the value of k? So this is how I'm going to approach it. Okay. I'm going to remove the 1/3 from the equation quite literally. But when I do that, when I factor out a 1/3, when I bring a 1/3 out here, I have to divide 1/3 from both of these guys. Okay. Now, when I divide 1/3 out of x squared, that's easy. When I divide 1/3 from -2, it's not going to be 2/3. Remember, when you divide a third from something, and in this case, we're dividing a third from, we'll just say 2 because I have that negative there already. Dividing by a fraction means multiplying the reciprocal. Okay, so dividing a fraction means multiplying the reciprocal. If I divide by a third, I'm multiplying by 3/1. So I get 6. Now, this comes from the concept that I have, and they want me to make this a difference of squares. What's difference of squares? Difference of squares says that if I have x minus k times x plus k, that comes from x squared minus k squared. So in order to make this look like that, in order to factor that using difference of squares, I have my 1/3 still living out there. It's still there. And if I'm going to factor that out, I have a positive, I have a negative. I take the square root of that guy, which is x and x, and put it right there. I take the square root of that guy, which is square root of 6 and square root of 6, and put it right there and right there. Now that looks like that. So if I were to FOIL this whole thing out, I would get that. What's the value of k? K is the square root of 6. Very advanced problem, very tricky. But those of you who have a math mind, you could probably figure that out. Now, a way that you could do this is you could just say, well, why don't I just, pretend that k is 2, FOIL that out, and then multiply it by a third and find out that I'm wrong. And then pretend that k is 6 and FOIL that out and multiply by a third and find out that I'm wrong. You can. That'll take some time, and maybe that time will be longer than doing it the way I did. But again, two different ways of doing it. One way is a pain in the butt, and the other way is also a pain in the butt. So which kind of pain are you willing to deal with? Pain in the butt door 1 or pain in the butt door number 2? You decide. The answer is D.